Hello, everybody. I think I'm going. Looks like I am. Awesome. Now, with that, we are going to wait a few moments here to see who joins the stream now that we're live, and also so I can hear my audio and see if everything's going well, because sometimes it doesn't go well. We're gonna.
It's Hy-Vee's Mega.
We are going to wait a few moments here to see who joins the stream. Now, cool. Audio is good. Awesome. So I'm gonna crank my mic up here a bit. Thanks, Jacob. Welcome. Okay, so I don't know how many people are going to join on this. I didn't really announce it, but I decided to, I wanted to play Mass Effect for a while now, and I've been talking for a great deal of time about how I love Mass Effect. All three. Now, Andromeda, we'll talk about Andromeda maybe later. But Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. And we'll talk about the ending of 3. I love it, but I know I'm weird. I also like a lot of things that are heavy sci-fi and kind of heady, so it works for me. And also, my storyline was pretty good for me, so it all worked out in the end. But we're not there yet. But I love Mass Effect, and it is my favorite game. And I'm including 1, 2, and 3 as one big game. It's my favorite game of all time. And I've been playing games since Pong on the Atari, so I've played a few. Jacob says, we don't talk about Andromeda. It's like Indiana Jones 4. You know, well, yeah, I'm hopeful. Oh my goodness, Mega! Mass Effect is my jam. Played it from day one. I'm in the middle of filming, so I can't stay, but take my like and $5. I will take it, Mega. Thank you so much. Everyone make sure to subscribe to Mega Reacts. He's great, and we really appreciate the support, buddy. And we'll get right back to you as well, too. So as I was saying, Mass Effect is my favorite game of all time. And the cool thing about Mass Effect is it really pays homage to a lot of good sci-fi. Great sci-fi. And there's a lot of correlation and connection between Mass Effect and Babylon 5. And since this is a Babylon 5 podcast, we've mentioned Mass Effect a few times. Now, the first thing I want to say is to my newbies who are joining us, we are going to talk all 5 seasons of Babylon 5, because all 5 seasons have something to do with the connections that we're going to talk about throughout this game. So if you have never watched all of Babylon 5, this is not the playthrough for you, because we're going to spoil the hell out of it. I'm also going to talk about other sci-fi and other areas that kind of connect and go. So really, if you're not into any kind of spoilers, and also, of course, we're going to go through all of Mass Effect. So if you're not into spoilers on Mass Effect and you haven't played Mass Effect, this is not the game for you as well. But hopefully we get some folks to join us and want to talk about it. And how this is going to work is I went to our Patreon Discord and asked folks what kind of build I should do for the first Mass Effect game. And we are playing the Legendary Edition, as you can see. So the Legendary Edition is the best edition. You really, if you haven't played Mass Effect, just go out and buy the Legendary Edition. You'll be fine, because it includes 1, 2, and 3. It has a lot of improvements to 1, because honestly, 1 came out a while ago now, and there was a lot of different ways that Mass Effect 1 played, as opposed to Mass Effect 2 and 3. There's not much changes in 2 and 3, but there's a lot of changes in 1. And it makes the game run smoother, it makes it prettier, and you're not going to sit in elevators and waiting for a load screen for hours on end. And for those who played the original Mass Effect 1, you know what I'm talking about. But you won't see it here, because Legendary Edition stops that from happening. So we're going to go through and we're going to play this sucker, and it's going to take a while because I'm guessing about 30, 40 hours per game, and there's 3 games. So this is going to be a long little endeavor, and we'll just have a little playlist in the bottom there, and if you want to join us throughout, please do. I'm not entirely sure how regularly I'm going to do this. I'm going to try to do it weekly, but life tends to get in the way sometimes. You can see there's a bunch of junk behind me. We're actually in the process of moving right now. So I will try to get these out as regularly as possible. But what I was saying earlier, before I got distracted by myself, is I went to our Patreon Discord today and asked folks what kind of build I should have for Mass Effect 1. I will start by saying I am not a first-person shooter guy. I am not an open-world guy. In fact, I'm not really even a gamer. I'm not. I can sit and play Stellaris for hours on end and play Mass Effect for hours on end and call it a day. So, I'm not really caring about the build, honestly. So that's why I let the Discord folks kind of give me some ideas. Because at the end of the day, I'm in here for the story. I think it's a very cinematic story. I think this is basically just a long movie. And I enjoy it for that. And I enjoy it for the RPG elements, especially in Mass Effect 1. 2 and 3 have a little bit of RPG, but 1 has the most. And so I'm just going to kind of go with the flow here. This is not going to be a 100% playthrough. I've done those. I have done 100% playthroughs on Mass Effect. I don't want to do it again. I just don't have the time for that. But if there are areas that you want me to check out, feel free to let me know, and we will go check those out as side quests. But really, for the most part, we're going to hit on the main story, and then we're going to do some side stuff that I know really does have some connection, or at least some homages to other sci-fi. Along with that, I tend to play non-bionic. I think it's a little bit overkill in terms of the superpowers that Shepard could have. So we're just going to do a normal human without biotics, but we will definitely have some bionic helpers along the way. I am going to do Fem Shep. I have done several playthroughs as male Shep, and I have done kind of a half playthrough with Fem Shep. I agree with most people that Fem Shep has a much better voice acting going on. I think male Shep is great, but I think Fem Shep, just the voice actor really is top notch. So I haven't done a full playthrough of Fem Shep, so we're going to here. But yeah, and we'll just kind of chat throughout the way. So let's see what we got in the chat here. The thing that really sealed the connection to Babylon 5 to me is Tennyson. Let's see here. Jacob says, we can also use this time to figure out how to gaslight Justin. I am all for that, Jacob. We do enjoy gaslighting Justin as much as possible. So we're going to go ahead. Yeah, thank you, Texas. I was trying to remember her name, and I felt terrible. But yes, Jennifer Hale is the voice actor for Fem Shep, and she's amazing. And I'm looking forward to doing a full playthrough with Fem Shep, because again, I haven't done a full one. I think I've gotten through most of 2 with her. The other thing too is Mike, one of the co-hosts of Gray 17, said on the Discord that I should really play an evil character. I'm gonna be honest with you, evil characters don't do it for me. It's just kind of boring, and it's not the story that I want to watch for, 120, 150 hours. So we're probably going to do Paragon. And you can call me a weenie if you want, but that's probably what we're going to do. But there may be sometimes, especially in Mass Effect 2, where there's some fun evil stuff that we will do just because, just because. So let's go ahead and get rocking on this thing. I've only played Legendary Edition with Mass Effect 1, so as you can see, I've got one going here. I didn't do Mass Effect 2 or 3 with Legendary Edition because, again, life. So I'm going to start a new game here. And again, as I mentioned earlier, if you haven't played Mass Effect before, definitely get the Legendary Edition. It is such an improvement. And you get all 3 games, so it's great. And you get all of the DLC. Most of the DLC. There are 2 Mass Effect 1 DLCs that literally do not exist anymore. So unless you have it on your hard drive from back in the day, you're not going to have the 2 DLCs. That being said, it really doesn't matter. Those DLCs were very, bare bones. Also, the Mass Effect 3 doesn't have multiplayer, which is disappointing. I really wish they would have put the multiplayer back on there, but it's okay. We'll be fine. Yeah, Texas, I completely agree. Renegade playthroughs can be really hard to stomach. I completely agree. It's just not my bag. I know there's some people who love doing both just to get the full experience and the 100%ing of it. I just don't care. And I don't want to do it for 100 and some odd hours. So we're going to do mostly Paragon. There'll be some times where I'll do some neutral stuff, and we're just going to play the character as personally I would see it. I kind of have a canon character in my mind, and some things I've already know is going to happen just because they always happen with me, but it'll be new for you all, so we'll just go through it on that. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to build out this character. Probably going to play for about an hour tonight, and then we'll just go from there. Hold on. It switched my window. Please hold. The launcher is a different window than the game. That's helpful. We'll fix this. Ah, there it goes. Cool. Okay, we're back. That was real helpful. The Mass Effect launcher window was not the same window as the game, so that was cool. 2 DLC, they have the Bring Down the Sky, and the only other one I know is Pinnacle Station. Was there another? I can't remember now. I may be misspeaking. It may have been only one that is now dead, but both of them were kind of anyway. Okay. A couple things I need to get going on this first. Let's see here. There we go. I want to make this windowed so I can actually play with the chat. And everything else looks good. There we go. And then we gotta make this fit the screen. There we go. Okay, I think we're good now. Oh, let's see. Let's just make sure gameplay is the way I want it. Oh, did you just act stupid again? We'll fix that in a minute. We don't want to auto level up. We're going to do legendary mode. Squad power usage, yes, we want them to do that. We do not, well, I hate subtitles, but for you all, I'll be okay and I'll do the subtitles, but I usually hate them. Autosave on, enable tutorials, no, great. Okay, let's figure that out and get back. Okay. It's still being stupid on my video capture, so bear with me for one moment as I fix that. There we go. Okie dokie. Cool, we're good now. We're going to start a new career.
Welcome to Alliance Military Database. Classified information.
Let me know if this sounds good on this too, guys.
Establishing secure connection. Secure connection confirmed.
I'm really original, and I always just use my real name. So we're going to do a custom male. No, we're not. We're going to do a custom female. I already said that.
Please log in to access your profile.
I do love the fact, and again, those of you who have played this game already know this, I love the fact that they even integrate the character building into it. The whole point is the database has been corrupted, and so we gotta, fill in our stuff. It's just a nice little, this is all part of the story. Sound is good. Thanks, Tim. Thank you, Higgenherger, I think is how you pronounce you. Okay. And again, for those who just joined, this is
Warning,
Mass Effect
data corruption
Legendary
detected.
Edition.
Please reconstruct profile. Confirm pre-service history.
So, okay. People on the Discord, a couple of them said they like Spacer. I enjoy Spacer as well. Anyone else want to put in a vote for either Colonist or Earthborn? For those who haven't done this before, Spacer, both of your parents were in the Alliance military. Your childhood was spent on ships and stations as they transferred from posting to posting, never staying in one location for more than a few years. Following your parents' footsteps, you enlisted at the age of 18. A colonist, you were born and raised on Mindor, a small border colony in the Antican Traverse. When you were 16, slavers raided Mindor, slaughtering your family and friends. You were saved by a passing Alliance patrol, and you enlisted in the military a few years later. Or Earthborn, you were an orphan raised on the streets of the great megatropolises covering Earth. You escaped the life of petty crime and underworld gangs by enlisting with the Alliance military when you turned 18. Yeah, doesn't speak well for the Alliance systems. I do like Spacer as well, too. Yeah, that's true. We do get the unlock there later on down the road. So, Texas, I'm going to go with you and the Discord folks, and we're going to go with Spacer.
Confirm psychological profile.
So we got Soul Survivor. During your service, a mission you were on went horribly wrong. Trapped in an extreme survival situation, you had to overcome physical torments and physiological stresses that would have broken most people. You survived while all those around you fell, and now you alone are left to tell the tale. War Hero. Early in your military career, you found yourself facing an overwhelming enemy force. You risk your own life to save your fellow soldiers and defeat the enemy despite the impossible odds. Your bravery and heroism have earned you medals and recognition from the Alliance fleet. And Ruthless. Throughout your military career, you have held fast to one basic rule: get the job done. You've been called cold, calculating, and brutal. Your reputation for ruthless efficiency makes your fellow soldiers wary of you. But when failure is not an option, the military always goes to you first. Again, I'm not an evil guy. Ruthless doesn't do much for me. So it's either usually War Hero or Soul Survivor. I think in terms of play, Soul Survivor allows a little bit more fun. Tim, I do not want to be a psychotic renegade. I'm sorry. Let's go with Soul Survivor.
Confirm military specialization.
Okay, so again, I'm not a biotic guy. I'm not a biotic. It's not my thing. I think it's a little too overpowered for Shep. Let's see, we had some votes for Sentinel. Soldier's kind of, run and gun. Engineer, I haven't done that lately. We can do a sniper. What do you guys think? What should we go for in terms of specialization? Soldier's basically the most boring, but you get guns, and guns are fun. Engineer, a little bit more tech focused. Adept is basically you're an X-Men. Infiltrator is sniper. Sentinel's a little bit of a mixture of engineer and adept. And Vanguard's a little bit of a mixture of soldier and adept. What are we gonna do? You know what? I think... Let me read this real quick. Yeah. I don't know. Sentinel can be interesting. Vanguard is for adrenaline junkies. Yeah. You know what? We're going to make this a blank slate. And we're going to let my normal guys, my team, is going... We're going to do the soldier. And I know it's the most boring build. But it also is a build that allows you to just kind of let your team do a lot of stuff around you, and then you can just have all the guns. So, and again, I usually don't play this game much for the run and gun and the first-person shooter stuff or third-person shooter stuff. I usually play for the story, so it doesn't really matter to me anyway. So we're just going to be a normal, run-of-the-mill soldier.
Confirm facial identification.
Normal appearance is good for me. I think she works.
Profile reconstruction complete.
And I know she's named Scott, but, what are you going to do?
Identification confirmed.
Okie dokie. Here we go. Yeah, see, that's the whole thing, Texas. With some of these, it's just a lot of spamming, and it just doesn't do it for me. Roll a D6.
What about Shepard? She's a spacer, lived aboard starships most of her life.
Military service runs in the family. Both her parents were in the Navy.
She saw her whole unit die on a cruise. She could have some serious emotional scars.
Every soldier has scars. Shepard's a survivor.
Is that the kind of person we want protecting the galaxy?
Shut up,
That's the only
Udina.
kind of person who can protect the galaxy.
Just punch Udina as much as possible.
I'll make the call.
In the year 2148, explorers on Mars discovered the remains of an ancient spacefaring civilization. In the decades that followed, these mysterious artifacts revealed startling new technologies that enabled travel to the furthest stars. The basis of this incredible technology was a force that controlled the very fabric of space and time. They call it the greatest discovery in human's history. Civilizations call it Mass Effect. Boy, we found aliens on Mars. Interesting. That doesn't happen in Babylon 5 yet for my newbies until we
The
record
Arcturus
next
Prime
week.
relay is in range. Initiating transmission sequence.
Commander?
Yeah, tomorrow night we're recording Messages from Earth. Justin's gonna have his head explode.
We are connected. Calculating transit mass and destination.
I just love the cinematic nature of
Relay
this
is
entire
hot.
game.
Acquiring approach vector. All stations secure for transit.
The fact that they haven't made a movie or TV series on this yet really frustrates me. I think TV series would be the best.
The board is green. Approach run has begun. Hitting the relay in
Yeah, Tim, I did say this was spoilers, and I'll say it again. Spoiler breakdown playthrough. So if you have not watched all of E5 or played Mass Effect, this is probably not the run through for you.
Thrusters, check. Navigation, check. Internal emissions sync engaged. All systems online. Drift, just under 1500K.
Joker may be my favorite character. Not gonna lie.
1500 is good. Your captain will be pleased.
Nihilus, he's gonna be with us a long time. He's gonna be our
I hate
main
that
guy,
guy.
of course.
Nihilus gave you a compliment. So you hate him.
You remember to zip up your jumpsuit on the way out of the bathroom? That's good. I just jumped us halfway across the galaxy and hit a target the size of a pinhead. So that's incredible. Besides, Spectres are trouble. I don't like having them on board. Call me paranoid.
You're paranoid. The Council helped fund this project. They have a right to send someone to keep an eye on their investment.
Yeah, that is the official story. But only an idiot believes the official story.
You always expect the worst.
Well, bad feelings are an occupational hazard. But we don't go anywhere unless there's a good reason, so... What are we doing here?
Joker, status report.
Just cleared the mass relay, Captain. Stealth systems engaged. Everything looks solid.
Good. Find a comm buoy and link us into the network. I want mission reports relayed back to Alliance Brass before we reach Eden Prime.
Aye, aye, Captain. Better brace yourself, sir. I think Nihilus is headed your way.
He's
It's
already
not that big of a
here.
ship, Joker. He's already there.
Tell Commander Shepard
It's like
to
a
meet me in
5-minute
the comm
walk.
room for
Not
a
even a
debriefing.
5-minute walk. It's like a 2-minute walk.
You get that, Commander?
He sounds angry. Something must have gone wrong with the mission.
Captain always sounds like that when he's talking to me.
Can't possibly imagine why.
Yeah, so going back to the chat real quick, we will be doing spoiler talk. on both Mass Effect, obviously, but also Babylon 5. So we're going to talk about all 5 seasons of Babylon 5 and where we have interactions and correlations and all that good stuff. And we're probably going to reference a lot of other sci-fi too. So if you are a newbie to Babylon 5 and a newbie to just like the genre, we're probably going to spoil stuff for you. So be aware there. Along with that, let's see what else we got in the chat. Texas says, I don't know, part of the appeal of this is the ability to make characters which you can't do on TV unless they come up with an interactive TV, in which case you basically have a video game. Yeah, you're right. Now, and of course, I will not tell you all what my canon playthrough is until we play through it. I will tell you that probably at the end of the day we're going to wind up where I want us to wind up, and I will be the first one to say most people, I think, don't agree with that canon playthrough. So I will probably be disappointed if we ever get a full Mass Effect TV show that actually follows the games, because it's probably not going to be my playthrough. But as long as it's a good show, I mean, that's the key. Can the Shadows take the Reapers? Good question. That's a conversation point. Let's have that conversation over the next 150 some hours, and we'll come to a conclusion on that, Tim. Caden, the most straight-laced character in any game. Of course, we're going to have a decision. Hey! Thank you so much for the super chat. Mama Shepherd with teen son Grunt is the best relationship. I don't disagree. That's a fun one. And David, why is Texas covering their ears? Why is that? I must have missed something. And welcome, by the way, David. Okay. So. Yeah, so as I was saying, this is going to be a playthrough that is going to be spoiler heavy. It's also going to be a playthrough that we're just going to talk and chat. So I don't know how long this is going to take. I don't know how many episodes this is going to be. It's going to be a lot, probably. But we're just going to kind of go as we go. Again, this is not a 100% playthrough, so I will talk to some folks because I just love the characters, but I'm probably not going to talk to everybody. If there's something that you want me to do, throw it in the chat, and I'll do it. But if you're looking for 100%, there's plenty of stuff on the YouTube for that. This is not that for me. Oh, it was about spoilers, David. I gotcha.
The captain's waiting for you in the comm room, Commander.
You probably don't want to keep the captain waiting, Commander.
Oh, maybe I do. Maybe I do. Oh, the Normandy. Are you guys fans of the Normandy 1 or the Normandy 2? I think the Normandy 1 is probably my favorite. Normandy 2's got some fun little areas, but I think the Normandy 1's a little smaller and a little more streamlined, and it's a pretty ship. And also, it wasn't made by fascists, which is a positive.
Congratulations, Commander. Looks like we had a smooth run. You heading down to see the captain?
Sounds like you don't trust Arturian guest.
Sorry, Commander. Just having a chat with Adams down at engineering. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. But you have to admit, something's odd about this mission. The whole crew feels it.
You think the Alliance brass is holding out on us?
If all we're supposed to do is test out the stealth system, why is Captain Anderson in charge? And then there's Nihilus. Spectres are elite operatives, top covert agents. Why send a Spectre, a Turian Spectre, on a shakedown run? It doesn't add up.
What do you know about the stealth systems?
I just know it masks our location from scans and sensors. Cutting-edge technology. The Normandy's the only ship with this prototype drive. But why are we fully staffed? A skeleton crew would be cheaper, less chance of security leaks too. Plus there's Nihilus. It's pretty obvious this shakedown run is
I love when the writers are like, Nihilus! Talk about Nihilus! I want you to talk about Nihilus!
For what?
Damned if I know, Commander. We're out here on false pretenses. I'm not a fan of being left in the dark.
I'll see if I can get some answers when I see him.
Good luck, Commander.
Looks like there's some votes for the SR2.
Kind of place Spectres visit. There's something Nihilus isn't telling us about this mission.
That's crazy. The captain's in charge here. He wouldn't take orders from a Spectre.
Not his choice, Doc. Spectres don't answer to anyone. They can do whatever they want. Kill anyone who gets in their way.
Oh, you watch too many spy vids, Jenkins.
Oh, good old Jenkins. He's around for a long time. He's a
What do you
big
think,
character
Commander?
in this thing.
We won't be staying on Eden Prime too long, will we? I'm itching for some real action.
I want some real
I
action.
sincerely hope you're kidding, Corporal. Your real action usually ends with me patching up crew members in the infirmary.
You need to calm down, Corporal. A good soldier stays cool even under fire.
Sorry,
And doesn't
Commander,
run
but
into the
this waiting's
fire
killing
and
me.
gets
I've never
shot
been on a mission like
at
this
all.
before. Not one with a Spectre on board.
Yeah, you'll do fine, Jenkins.
Just
Don't worry.
treat this like every other assignment you've had and everything will work out.
Yeah, it's gonna work out
Easy
fine.
for you to say. You proved yourself on a cruise. Everybody knows what you can do. This is my big chance. I need to show the brass what I can do.
This mission isn't about personal glory, Corporal. We have a job to do. Don't do anything stupid to mess it up.
Don't
Oh,
worry,
he won't
man.
mess it up. It's fine.
I'm not going to screw this up.
No, you're fine,
The
Jenkins.
captain's waiting for me.
Goodbye, Commander.
You're not gonna cause any trouble. Hey, Doc.
Yes, Commander, is there something you need?
What can you tell me about Nihilus?
Turians are generally well respected by the other species. Their fleet has more patrols protecting Citadel space than any other. They don't always get on well with us, though. Some people find them too rigid. Others still blame them for the First Contact War. As for Nihilus, I haven't said more than 2 words to him. He usually only speaks to the captain.
I hope we get a chance to see him in action. I heard Nihilus took down an entire enemy platoon all by himself.
The captain's waiting for me.
Goodbye, Commander.
Texas, why is the layout of SR1 odd to you? I'm intrigued. Is it the engineering? Because it is kind of like it dumps. Oh, I forgot. Hold on. I gotta remember where I gotta go. I'm locked out of the rest of the ship. Hi, Nihilus. Good buddy, Nihilus. Good friend. Oh, there's a little
Commander
cut.
Shepard, I was hoping you'd get here first. It will give us a chance to talk.
What about?
I'm interested in this world we're going to. Eden Prime. I've heard it's quite beautiful.
They say it's a paradise.
Yes, a paradise. Serene, tranquil, safe. Eden Prime has become something of a symbol for your people, hasn't it? Proof that humanity can not only establish colonies across the galaxy, but also protect them. But how safe is it really?
Do you know something?
Your people are still newcomers, Shepard. The galaxy can be a very dangerous place. Is the Alliance truly ready for this?
I think it's about time we told the commander what's really going on.
This mission is far more than a simple shakedown run.
I figured there was something you weren't telling us.
We're making a covert pickup on Eden Prime. That's why we needed the stealth systems operational.
I don't like being kept in the dark, Captain.
This comes down from the top, Commander. Information strictly on a need-to-know basis. A research team on Eden Prime unearthed some kind of beacon during an excavation. It was Prothean.
Prothean shadows. Whatever.
I thought the Protheans vanished 50,000 years ago.
Their legacy still remains. The mass relays, the Citadel, our ship drives. It's all based on Prothean technology.
Yes, I know the
This is
Protheans
good,
aren't
Shepard.
the shadows,
The
but
last time humanity made a discovery
we
like
found the
this,
shadow stuff.
it jumped
so.
our technology forward 200 years. But Eden Prime doesn't have the facilities to handle something like this. We need to bring the beacon back to the Citadel for proper study.
Obviously, this goes beyond mere human interests, Commander. This discovery could affect every species in Council space.
I'll be nice to Nihilus.
Why didn't we keep the beacon for ourselves?
You humans don't have the best reputation. Some species see you as selfish, too unpredictable, too independent, even dangerous.
Sharing that beacon
And
will
we had a
improve
war with
relations
you.
with the Council. Plus, we
briefly.
need their scientific expertise. They know more about the Protheans than we do.
The beacon's not the
The
only
First
reason
Contact
I'm here,
War is an
Shepard.
interesting little
Nihilus wants to see
side
you in action,
thing
Commander.
that you don't really get much out
He's
of
here to
the
evaluate.
game unless you really dive deep into the codex and do a few other things, or read the comics and the books.
Guess that explains why I bump into him every time I turn around.
The Alliance has been pushing for this for a long time. Humanity wants a larger role in shaping interstellar policy. We want more say with the Citadel Council. The Spectres represent the Council's power and authority. If they accept a human into their ranks, it shows how far the Alliance has come.
Not many could have survived what you went through on Akuz. You showed a remarkable will to live, a particularly useful talent. That's why I put your name forward as a candidate for the Spectres.
Dun dun dun.
I assume this is good for the Alliance.
Earth needs this, Shepard. We're counting on you.
I need to see your skills for myself, Commander. Eden Prime will be the first of several missions together.
Sure will, Nihilus.
You'll be in charge of the ground team. Secure the beacon and get it onto the ship ASAP. Nihilus will accompany you to observe.
It's a nice little thing, too, about this game, is it kind of pulls the rug out from under you a couple times. You know, Nihilus, you'd think Nihilus is like your tutorial character, your guy who's going to kind of run you through your paces, and of course, that doesn't happen. Let's see here. Texas says stairs down the next level and then the elevator down. Yeah, the SR2 is just one single elevator. Part of that is loading screens. They built the SR1 to handle more loading, which of course, with Legendary Edition, you don't have to worry about that. And yes, Texas, I do sass my CO. My bosses always love it. Texas asks, what would you consider the closest equivalent to the Protheans in B5? So the Protheans are a race that is much more advanced than anybody that has been around since. They basically ran the galaxy, and then they got wiped out by the Reapers. And they did leave some tech behind, and they left some messages behind about what happened. And of course, they helped with the Citadel and the super secret weapon that's kind of dumb for Mass Effect 3. I think in terms of Babylon 5, there's not really a straight equivalent that we know of, because a straight equivalent would have been wiped out by the Shadows previously. But I think in terms of the races that we have currently in the Babylon 5 universe, I think the Minbari are the closest to it. They are one of the most advanced, newer races. I don't say Vorlons or Shadows, because I think the Vorlons and Shadows kind of have Reaper-type connections for both of them. So I really think the Reapers were modeled off of that conflict between the Vorlons and the Shadows. So I don't think either one of those are going to be Prothean. Although a Vorlon in the technology front could kind of be close to it. But I really think the Minbari are probably the best bet. What do you think in terms of that? Yeah, you're right. Ashley does talk about the First Contact War a little bit. We have a decision to make, too, on that, folks. It's not going to happen tonight. But we got to decide between our good buddies Caden and Ashley. Oh, David's right. Whomever would have built the Great Machine would be a candidate. David, that's a good point. Whoever built the Great Machine on Epsilon 3, which we still don't know who did that, that could be our good correlation to the Protheans.
Just give the word, Captain.
We should be getting close to Eden.
Captain, we got a problem.
What's wrong, Joker?
Transmission from Eden Prime, sir. You better see this.
Bring it up on screen.
Get down!
We are under attack, taking heavy casualties. I repeat, heavy casualties.
Our evac.
We can't get evac. They came out of nowhere. We need.
Bye. I see a great hand reaching out.
Everything cuts out after that. No comm traffic at all. Just goes dead. There's nothing.
Reverse and hold at 38.5.
Nihilus, uh-oh. He just clenched a little bit.
Report.
17 minutes out, Captain. No other Alliance ships in the area.
Take us in, Joker, fast and quiet. This mission just got a lot more complicated.
A small strike team can move quickly, without drawing attention. It's our best chance to secure the beacon.
Let's get Jenkins.
Grab your gear and meet us in the cargo hold. Tell Alenko and Jenkins to suit up, Commander. You're going in.
Engaging stealth system.
Texas says Vorlons don't really have a counterpart in all this. I think that really you can see the Vorlons and the Shadows as kind of Reapers in their own way.
Your team's the muscle in this operation, Commander. Go in heavy and head straight for the dig site.
What about survivors, Captain?
Helping survivors is a secondary objective. The beacon's your top priority.
Approaching drop point 1.
Nihilus, you coming with us?
Nope.
I move faster on my own.
I did say I needed a small strike team,
ahead.
but I'm just going to go
He'll
ahead
feed you status reports throughout the mission. Otherwise, I want radio silence.
Ready and able, sir.
The mission's yours now, Shepard. Good luck.
I'll bring them all back, boss, I promise.
We are approaching drop point 2.
It's a beautiful ship. I do love me some Normandy. Okay.
Ship perimeter secure, Commander.
This place got hit.
Blowing up the bubbles.
Smells like smoke and death.
Oh God, what happened here? Oh God, what happened here?
You're repeating yourself, Jenkins. No, not Jenkins! You bastards! No! Richard L. Jenkins is dead.
Ripped right through his shields. Never had a chance.
It's okay, our shields will hold. I don't know why, but they do.
Sometimes Marines die. The rest of us just have to carry on. We still have to find that beacon.
Aye, aye, ma'am.
Now, I am going to stay right here. I'm not a gamer, so as you're watching this, you're going to be like, wow, he kind of sucks. And I'm going to agree with you. I kind of suck. So, it'll be times where I probably don't take the most efficient route. I probably don't use the right gun. Probably get shot a lot. It's okay. I just suck. For example, I'm going the wrong way. See, this is what happens when you talk to the camera. When the game is already pointing you in the right direction, but you wait and say how you suck, and then you get turned around. That's cool. That's great. And if you're wondering if I just ran up on that rock and thought it would auto-cover like Mass Effect 2, you'd be correct.
I'm gonna check
You would
it out.
absolutely be correct.
I'll try to catch up with you at the dig site.
Ashley! Oh, my racist friend, Ashley. You just give him a hug. I gotta figure out my key bindings. There it is. Found it. Okay. Now I know where my sniper rifle is. That's helpful.
Thanks for your help, Commander. I didn't think I was gonna make it.
Hi, Ashley.
Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams of the 212. You the one in charge here, ma'am?
Are you wounded, Williams?
A few scrapes and burns. Nothing serious. The others weren't so lucky. Oh, man. We were patrolling the perimeter when the attack hit. We tried to get off a distress call, but they cut off our communications. I've been fighting for my life ever since.
Any idea what kind of enemy we're facing?
I think they're Geth.
The Geth haven't been seen outside the Veil in nearly 200 years. Why are they here now?
They must have come for the beacon. The dig site is close, just over that rise. It might still be there.
We could use your help, Williams.
Aye, aye, ma'am.
Just try not to run into
payback.
Try not to run into bullets like Jenkins did.
Move out!
Tim says, do we see the Geth flying drones again before Mass Effect 3? I'm not sure. I always take all, just cuz. Why not? That looks appetizing. Game's like, here, go this way. What are you shooting at the rock for? What'd that rock ever do to you? I definitely hit that. Maybe not. There. Yes, the Mass Effect AI is a little dumb. Because they're really blasting the hell out of that rock. This guy here, he's just chilling. He's good to go. Hi. Seriously? Hi.
This is the dig site. The beacon was right here. It must have been moved.
By who? Our side or the Geth?
Hard to say. Maybe we'll know more after
see,
we check
Texas
out
has
the
played this
research
much
camp.
more than I have, I guess. Yeah, we Tally's recruitment mission in Mass Effect 2.
You think anyone got out of here alive?
We see the
If they were
drones.
lucky. Maybe hiding up in the camp. It's just on the top of this ridge, up the ramps.
So we are a few episodes
Plan,
ahead.
Shepard. There's a small spaceport up ahead. I want to check it out. I'll
Sure.
wait for you there.
Sure, Nihilus. Nothing's going to go wrong. It's fine. We are a few episodes ahead in recording the podcast. So tomorrow... Ooh, look, I leveled up. Tomorrow, we are going to be recording Messages from Earth. And so we are to the quote-unquote trilogy. And I'm looking forward to what the newbies are going to have to say. And I will also say, we're not 100% sure yet on this, but I think we're going to do something fun for Severed Dreams. I'm 99% sure it's going to happen, and I'm looking forward to it a lot. It's the first time it will have happened for Grey 17 since we started a year ago. We actually started recording our first episode in June of last year. We didn't release it until July. But we've been doing this for a year, and this is going to be the first time we're going to be able to do this with Severed Dreams. So I'm hopeful, but stay with us on that. You won't actually hear about it until August, because again, we're a few weeks ahead on the recording process. Okay, let's get some more assault training in here. We got 8 points there. Adrenaline burst is fun. I am definitely somebody who likes to talk a lot, so charm. And then let's get our shield boost up a bit. Shield boost. And we're going to want to learn sniper rifles soon, so we'll start putting stuff into that. Let's see. Caden, what do you want? We're going to give you barrier. We're going to give you decryption. And we're going to give you electronics and first aid. Okay. And then Ashley. Oh, Ashley. Learn some assault rifle action. Let's get your assault training up. And let's just, let's make you into cannon fodder, shall we? You're not going to be a tank for long because there's other ones who can do that. But for now, you can be my tank. Yeah, I really recommend you finish Mass Effect 3 and ignore all the haters. We'll get there when we get there. But I think I think it's a great end to the trilogy. Yeah, budget cuts kind of affected it, but it's fun. And then also the Citadel DLC it's just moo.
Looks like they hit the camp hard.
It's a good place for an ambush. Keep your guard up. Oh god, they're still alive.
Kinda.
What did the Geth do to them?
Kinda, sorta. Now I know I'm grasping at straws here, but when I see my friends here at the husks, and I think, okay, sniper rifle's not gonna be good right here. When I see the husks, the only Babylon 5 thing I really think about is the telepaths in Ship of Tears. Specifically the one who, you know,
We thought this world was safe until the Geth
tries to take over the station. They're kind of mindless zombie drones. David says, if there was any time for reactions, it would be Southern Dreams. David, I will tell you that some of the newbies have started filming reactions.
Security locks engaged.
We just haven't gotten to those episodes yet. Justin has done 3 already, and we will start posting those once we get to those episodes. And I am begging the other newbies to do it. And if you run into any of the newbies in the social medias or on Discord, if you're a Patreon member and you want to help me on that, tell the newbies that you want to see their reactions to episodes. Because I want to see the reactions to episodes too. The first couple that Justin did are really fun. And I'm debating how I'm going to do that. If I'm just going to like release the whole reaction and make it kind of a commentary episode so you can watch along with him. Or I may do what other reactors do and trim it down a little bit. We'll see. I may try a little bit of both and see what you all like the most. What I would ultimately love to have happen, and I've been bugging the newbies to do it, is I would love to take all of their reaction videos and basically put them all into one. So if Justin has a really fun reaction to this part, we'll throw him up there. If Jessi has a really fun reaction to the next scene, well then it'll cut to her, and so forth and so on. But we'll definitely be doing more of those. I just got to get the newbies on board. Some of them don't think that you guys want to see them on camera. I think they're crazy. But you need to tell them that, because it's just me bugging them right now about that. But I will say, I think the first Justin reaction video will be Dust to Dust, which is coming soon. Let's see here. Tim says he was quite pleased with Mass Effect 3's ending. Good, Tim. We get along. You know, after doing cartoons, TV, comic books, and movies, I think video games are the only thing JMS hasn't actually had a hand in creating. You're right, and there was going to be a Star Fury game. And I know JMS, it was just licensed. He wasn't really involved in it. But it unfortunately never came out because of the company went bankrupt before it was made, and it was an alpha. And we've seen kind of some videos of it, and we know kind of what it looked like, and it looked like it was going to be good. But it never happened. And, of course, there's more properties out there than B5. I think JMS would have a ball making a lengthy game, but also it would take him time. And I want him busy on other things like animated movies and reboots. Citadel DLC is mandatory. Completely agree with you. We will run through Citadel DLC, absolutely, because at that point we all love these characters and we want to have our goodbye. And Citadel DLC absolutely does that. Texas asks, like those reaction compilations we see on YouTube? Yeah, that's going to be the idea. We'll see how it goes. Right now, like I said, Justin's done about 3 on his own, so we'll have those for sure. And then I'm trying to get the other newbies to do some as well. And then we're also, the first ones we'll start doing commentaries again. We kind of slacked off on those. But honestly, I know for a fact you all want to see the newbies' reactions more than our commentaries. So that's why I'm really trying to get going right now. Tim says, I'd love to see the newbies on camera, but I understand the desire for camera shyness. Yeah, I won't call out the ones who are really camera shy, but I think all of them, if they heard from you all that, hey, we would love to see you do this, I think they'd be really interested more so in doing it than just me bugging them about it all the time. But again, I think Dust to Dust is the first Justin one I have. I've got 3 in the hopper right now. I just haven't released them yet because we haven't got to that episode yet. And the reason why he's done the reaction videos again is we do record early, so we have some in the can. So, like I said, we're going to be recording our discussion of Messages from Earth tomorrow night. Well, see, I think Mass Effect 3 has, depending on your playthrough, it can have a happy ending. I honestly think the ending that most people like, the quote-unquote good ending, is probably the worst for me personally. But we'll get to that months from now when I get to Mass Effect 3. Oh, the minigame.
Humans, thank the Maker.
Thank the Maker.
Close the door before they come back.
Who the hell are you?
What are you doing here?
I'm Dr. Warren. I was in charge of this excavation. We hid in the shed during the attack. They must have come for the beacon. Luckily, it wasn't here. It was moved to the spaceport earlier this morning. Manuel and I stayed behind to pack up the camp. When the attack came, the Marines held them off long enough for us to hide. They gave their lives to save us.
No one is saved. The age of humanity is ended. Soon, only ruin and corpses will remain.
So there's an alternate universe in the Mass Effect multiverse where Manuel is the hero of the story, because he's the first one to tap in to the beacon, and he knows a lot more than his crazy little stuff is letting on. But if he was able to, not be goofy and crazy, he could really be the hero of the story.
What else can you tell me about the attack?
It all happened so fast. 1 second we were gathering up our equipment. The next we were hiding in the shed while the Geth swarmed over the camp.
Agents of the Destroyers, bringers of darkness, heralds of our extinction.
We could hear the battle outside. Gunfire, screams. I thought it would never end. Then everything went quiet. We just sat there, too afraid to move, until you came along.
Did you notice a Turian in the area?
I saw him, the Prophet, leader of the enemy. He was here before the attack.
Oh,
that's impossible.
There's
Nihilus was
here.
with us in the Normandy before the attack. He couldn't have been here.
I'm sorry, Manuel's still a bit unsettled.
Manuel's unsettled.
We haven't seen your Turian. We've been hiding in here since the attack.
Tim's right. Manuel and Jenkins together on a squad, that would be priceless. He says, I was not surprised by the Game of Thrones finale. If you thought that would have been ended happily, you haven't been paying attention. I could talk Game of Thrones for a very long time. We'll just say I completely agree with you. It was very clear that Dany was going to, be the evil of the show, and that was kind of built up from literally the first episode. But the way the turn happened was just piss poor. You had so many opportunities to transition that character and do what you had already built up to do with that character, and it's literally like a light switch when she finally just goes batshit crazy. The other thing that really pisses me off about the Game of Thrones ending, there's two. One is Jaime goes through the greatest character arc in that show. He goes from the prick, sister fucker, and ends up being the a redeemed hero. He gets so much to do throughout that show, and at the end of the show, he goes right back to his sister and gets rocks dropped on his head. What a waste of a character. Sure, he probably shouldn't have gotten out alive after what he had done originally. Fine. Give him a death that makes sense and a death that doesn't completely wipe away 8 seasons of good character development. My other big issue, and I know what they were going for, I get it, but the whole let's give it to the crazy magical kid, make him king, there's another day where we can complain about Game of Thrones, but I will say that last season, actually the last 2 seasons, where you could tell that J.R.R. Martin was not in the driver's seat of that. He hadn't given them all the stories yet because he hadn't written them yet. He still hasn't written them yet. And those 2 showrunners just... it was just bad. I intentionally missed Game of Thrones because I had a feeling it was going to be a series that wouldn't end well. Tim, you're completely right. It does not end well. He says Dany suffered from Targaryen intensity. She pulled an egg and agreed Jaime's story was a waste. That was my biggest... I mean, you could... The whole Dany turn thing, again, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming in season 1. She's always been that Targaryen. But the Jaime thing, that was irredeemable for me in terms of the story. It ruined Game of Thrones for me. The fact that Jaime just runs back to her Cersei like a lost puppy. I'm just like, why would you do that? Why would you spend so much time on that character and have him just run back to his sister? And even then, he runs back to his sister, and then you give him the most pointless death. The tower falls on his head with his sister. Why? Why did you do that? Because you're terrible writers. That's why. Because as soon as you got off the leash that J.R. Martin gave you, because he had written most of the stories up until that point, you were lost and you couldn't figure out how to write yourself out of a paper bag. And you ruined one of the best TV shows of all time. Congratulations. And then you almost went out of your way to make the next show you were going to do was if the Confederacy had won the Civil War, and that would have gone over real well, I'm sure. HBO decided to pull the plug on that thing. Texas says, Londo's story doesn't really end well, but also stems directly from what he'd done up to that point. Exactly, Texas. Londo's story makes sense, and it is foreshadowed all the way back in The Gathering. He tells you in The Gathering how he's going to die. He tells you. And then Midnight in the Firing Line. Signs and portents. Londo's story is etched in stone throughout the show, and we just watch it build and build. And at the end, you get what you knew was coming. But it's still a little twist. Because for a long time we thought Jakar was going to kill Londo because of their animosity to each other. But what Jakar is really doing is being a good friend and helping Londo have his last bit of redemption and helping Londo end the suffering. And you don't know that until later on. But it all makes sense. It's not abrupt. It's not a character assassination. It's what you get. I would argue that the and I've said this already on the show, what I think the character that gets the worst ending, and I think the most Jaime-like ending on Babylon 5, is my good friend Lanier. Lanier, the ending they give him is so frustrating. And I know Bill Mumy wasn't a fan either. The idea that Lanier would leave Sheridan to die because he's jealous. Lanier is a better person than that. And then, yes, Lanier goes back to try to save Sheridan, but he finds out he was already saved and so forth and so on. No. That's not how you end Lanier's character. You did. That's the one JMS decision that I just don't like. And you'll say, well, he shows up in the telepath wars in the books. He still dies by blowing up Psychor. That's Lanier deserves so much more than what he got, and I will have a rant when we get to season 5. Don't worry, I will have a rant when it comes to Lanier's end to his story.
Can you tell me anything about the...
Hi, we're talking about Mass Effect.
It's some type of data module from a galaxy-wide communications network. Remarkably well preserved. It could be the greatest scientific discovery of our lifetime. Miraculous new technologies, groundbreaking medical advances. Who knows what secrets are locked inside?
I do.
We have unearthed the heart of evil.
Manuel does.
Awakened the beast. Unleashed the darkness.
Manuel, please. This isn't the time.
Robert, just coming in. I never watched Mass Effect. How much real B5 stuff is in this? I just watched Medusa Cascades reacting to the first Crusade episode, and I would love to have a non-aligned podcast on Crusade. That's a really good idea, Robert. And I will say, we are going to get Medusa into the non-aligned podcast. She was actually going to be on the last one where we talked about the animated movie, but she's across the pond from us, so it's hard to get our schedules together. But I love watching her reactions too. In terms of Crusade, we're still kind of debating how we're going to handle Crusade. I will say that we have talked to the Non-Aligned Podcast group, and they all definitely want to do at least one big show once the big group has gotten through B5 for the first time. And ironically, I say it that way because the two groups that are going to be taking the longest to get there are B5 for the first time and us, Grey 17. I think B5 for the first time is going to be done before us. In fact, I know they will be. They're probably going to be done around August or September of next year. And if we follow our calendar, we'll be done October of next year. So there will definitely be a wrap-up show in October of next year. But we have some other ideas for non-aligned podcast stuff as well too. I think that's been the most fun about doing B5 and doing Grey 17, and something we never thought about until it happened. And that was I reached out to these guys because some of them I had been listening to for a long time. The Babylon podcast, the audio guide to Babylon 5, which those guys, I still haven't got them involved. I know they're doing other things because their show happened several years ago. But those guys I listened to for a long time. So when we started doing Grey 17, I reached out to those folks and said, hey, I would love to get you all in a room and just talk. And they were all for it. So that's what started the Non-Aligned podcasts. And I'm looking forward to doing more of those. We will definitely do one about the animated movie when it comes out here in August. And then we have some other plans too. But yeah, I completely agree. And then Crusade, I'm debating how I want to handle that. Because I think Crusade is not a bad show, but I also don't want to wait 13 weeks between the end of season 5 and then Sleeping in Light. And so we're going to be doing we're going to do all of our B5 reviews based on chronological order, so the newbies don't get spoiled. Which means if I did that with Crusade, it would be a Call to Arms, the TNT movie, and then 13 episodes, or maybe it's 10. I can't remember how many Crusade actually got on the air. How many episodes Crusade, and then we go back to Sleeping in Light, and I just think that kind of kills momentum. So we're debating. I will say we are going to do all of the B5 movies. We are absolutely going to do all the B5 movies, and that's built into my October 2024 end date right now with my schedule. Are we talking B5 spoilers? Steven, yes we are. This is a spoiler playthrough of both Mass Effect and B5, and probably some other side sci-fi stuff as well too. Robert, I never actually answered your other part of your question. There's a lot of homages to B5 in this. There's no direct, this is a B5 thing, but there's a lot of homages, and we'll be highlighting those as we go. Should have seen standing with, David says, should have been seen standing with Veer Talon as the Mimbar. Yes, David, I completely agree. Lanier deserved to be in that next generation of Babylon 5. And what we're talking about there is that last scene on CNC where you have Veer, you have Talon. Was Veer on that? You have Talon for sure, Lockley. You really needed Lanier there. And the fact that it was petty jealousy that was the end of his arc, that could have been a good story. That could have been a good story for an episode. Lanier makes a bad decision because of his love for Delenn and his jealousy of Sheridan, blah, 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 blah. But you don't end the entire character on that. Robert says, thanks, Scott. I hope that the anime movie does well. Crusade movies to complete the story would be great. Yeah, Robert, I wouldn't hold your breath on that. JMS has been very clear that Crusade just doesn't have the name recognition that B5 does. I mean, that was one of the things, and I did a whole bonus episode about this. It's on the YouTube and on our podcast about the reboot and what we know at the time, and that was a few months ago. And a lot of people were saying, why wouldn't the reboot be a story of B4 1,000 years ago, or the Telepath War, or whatever, Crusade, continuing on. And JMS has said that the studios know the name Babylon 5. That's what they're buying into, is the name Babylon 5. And as JMS said, you can't have a title Babylon 5 and not have the story be about Babylon 5. So I wouldn't hold your breath on Crusade. I will say, if you are a Patreon member of JMS's, he did release the series finale script of Crusade to the Patreon members. So if you want to know what the series finale of season 1 would have been, you can get that script if you're on his Patreon. Let's see, Texas says, did you listen to the Jump Cake podcast, the one from a few years ago? I don't think I listened to Jump Cake. The ones I listened to were Babylon Podcast and the audio guide. The audio guide is the one I listened through the whole thing, and I will be unabashedly honest and say that I stole basically Gray 17's format from the audio guide to Babylon 5, because they did the very same thing where they had a non-spoiler section and then they had a spoiler section. The only difference was they didn't have any newbies talking about Babylon 5 for a first impression, because they had just seen it. Now, I think one of the host's husbands was watching for the first time, and they would talk about his interaction with the show and everything else, but he wasn't a host on the show. So that's the one thing that Gray 17 has done that the audio guide did not, is we included newbies. But that really, when I was talking to Blake about putting this show together a couple years ago, I basically said, I want to do the audio guide to Babylon 5, but I want new people watching it for the first time. And so that's how Gray 17 became. But I don't think I want to listen to the Jumpgate one. Let's see. Biggest problem with Crusade was TNT felt they could dictate to JMS. That's 100% correct. But it's also more than that. I swear I'm going to get back to Mass Effect here in a minute. Crusade, before it even hit the airwaves, TNT wanted to kill it. And this is coming from JMS and his wonderful autobiography, Becoming Superman. If you have not read Becoming Superman, you owe it to yourself to do it. It's one of the best autobiographies I have ever read. And actually, I would recommend you don't read it. You get the audiobook, because the audiobook is read by Peter Jurisic. So, Londo reads JMS's story. But, so what happened there with Crusade, in a nutshell, is when TNT bought Babylon 5, they had hoped that it would be a great show to get people watching TNT. And their big two things that TNT had at the time was, on prime time, was Babylon 5 and wrestling. And Babylon 5 led into wrestling. And TNT thought, great, we'll get the Babylon 5 people in, and they will stick around for wrestling. And then the wrestling people will come in early and watch Babylon 5, and we'll get more audience. And what TNT found out while Babylon 5 Season 5 was airing was they were getting the Babylon 5 audience, and they were leaving right after the credits rolled. And then the wrestling audience came in to watch wrestling. So they were not getting any crossover. The B5 audience came in, it left. The wrestling audience came in, it left. So at that point, they realized Babylon 5 is doing nothing for them because they're not building their audience. They're getting the same numbers. So and this is JMS's opinion, TNT went out of their way to try to get out of the Crusade contract. And to do that, they tried to scuttle Crusade as much as possible. And they did that in multiple different ways. I'm forgetting on the character's name, but the female alien in Crusade, the studio came up with the idea that when she interacts with a new culture, her way of first contact is initiating sex. So they wanted her to have sex with every new alien culture that they ran into. Stupid shit like that. And so JMS basically said, no, I'm not going to take your studio notes. That's bullshit. And at the end of the day, they just canceled the show. And so that's what happened with Crusade. David says, my understanding is the creator of Mass Effect openly admitted to B5 inspiration. Oh, absolutely. And that's not just B5. They said that they take a lot from a lot of different sci-fi works. There's a lot of Arthur C. Clarke in this. There's a lot of Rama and 2001 and 2010 and so forth and so on. Robert says, sorry, I can't do Patreons. I'm poor. Robert, I hear you, man. I only do a few for the same reason. I got 3 kids and they eat all my money. Robert, you're fine. This is great. This is why I wanted to do this. It's great to have a conversation about 2 great properties, Mass Effect and Babylon 5. Texas says, Jumpgate and Audio Guide were on the same time. They both started around the 20th anniversary. Higger says, sounds like Firefly. The network wanted to kill it. Yeah, same idea. Let's see. Robert says, I remember, too, that there were 2 TNT factions. One loved B5 and the other gave it a chance but didn't see the ratings boost. Yeah, Robert. That's the key thing. They thought Babylon 5 was going to be a great get for them, and they didn't see any spillover. So they absolutely got the Babylon 5 audience to watch Babylon 5, but they didn't watch anything else on TNT. So TNT didn't get anything out of it. They just, that 1 hour of television was the only time that audience would show up. I was the same way. I was watching TNT when Season 5 came out for Season 5. I was not watching wrestling or anything else on TNT. I tuned in for Babylon 5 and I tuned right out. And they saw that in the numbers and it just wasn't working for them. Tim says, even though I was a gay man in his 20s, I skipped the wrestling after each B5 episode was done. Yep. Tim, you're not Andrew. Andrew loves his wrestling. Steven says, I need to know exactly how much coke the executives who fought an overlap between Babylon 5 and wrestling was going to work. Man, it was the 90s. There were a lot of drugs. Not so much as many as the 80s, but the 90s had a lot of drugs. Okay. Back to Dr. Manuel.
What's wrong with your assistant?
Manuel has a brilliant mind, but he's always been a bit unstable.
He's unsettled
Genius
and unstable.
Madness are 2 sides of the same coin.
Is it madness to see the future? To see the destruction rushing towards us? To understand there is no escape? No hope? No. I am not mad. I'm the only sane one left.
He's not wrong.
I gave him an extra dose of his meds after the attack.
You know what? I did say I don't play evil on Mass Effect, but this is kind of funny.
Say goodnight, Manuel.
You cannot silence the truth. My voice must be heard.
Oh my god! What did you do?
That might have been a little extreme, Commander.
You can't just go around whacking people in the head.
It was only a matter of time till he did something crazy and dangerous.
I suppose you're right. By the time he wakes up, the meds will have kicked in.
Williams, take us to the spaceport.
Good luck, Commander.
Say goodnight, Dr. Manuel. will change my loadout. You don't really need to right now, and it's just going to take time. So I'll do that before I do the next run. Oh, Nihilus. We barely knew you.
Saren.
Here's my one complaint about Mass Effect 1. You see Saren's look here?
Nihilus.
He's already being indoctrinated. You look at his mandibles, and he's got like the metal.
Saren. What are you doing here?
That's actually just
the council thought you
that's
could
a
use some
mistake.
help on this one.
And I'll talk about it in a minute.
I wasn't expecting to find the Geth here. The situation's bad.
Don't worry. I've got it under control.
By Nihilus. So, that look on Saren shows that he's already being taken over by the Reapers. But Nihilus doesn't even notice, and that's really because, from my understanding, they had intentions of having a different face for Saren in this first part of it, and then gradually he would start changing more into his indoctrinated form. And it's just, when you watch it the first time, it doesn't matter, but when you watch it the second and 500th time, it's like, well, it's a little bit out of what it should look like.
What is that? Off in the distance.
It's a ship. Look at the size of it.
I don't want my shotgun. I really gotta figure out my key bindings. Beep! Beep! I was too busy figuring out what my sniper rifle was. Hi. Oh, seriously? Okay. I promise that's not going to happen a lot. I just got to figure out my key bindings. Oh, are you kidding me? Okay, we'll do this quick. Everyone's laughing at me right now. I know, you should laugh at me. Shouldn't have happened. And I got to do the level up again, but I'm going to do that in a bit. Ah, that's annoying. Okay, we're going to start saving more.
Looks like they hit the camp hard.
It's a good place for an ambush. Keep your guard up.
I can't skip these cutscenes.
Oh, Gus, they're still alive.
But I want to skip these cutscenes.
What did the Geth do to them?
Hey, we get to punch Manuel again.
That door, it's closed. Security lock's engaged.
Humans. Thank the Maker.
Hurry, close the door before they come back.
Don't worry.
Thank you. I think
Your doctor...
when the attack
No one is saved. The age of humanity.
What's wrong? I gave
I just
him
want
an
to punch
extra
him
dose
again.
of his meds.
Say goodnight, Manuel.
You cannot silence the truth. My voice must be heard.
Oh my God!
That might
You
have been.
can't just go around whacking people.
It was only a
I
matter.
suppose you're right.
I do want to go
Williams,
around whacking
take us
people.
Good luck.
Alright. Now we're going to save. And we're not going to do that again. I swear. I promise. I will figure out how to change my gun without getting myself killed. I promise. Texas, I wasn't meaning to use my sniper rifle like a shotgun. My goal was to pull my sniper rifle
Saren.
and pick them off right after the bridge, right on the bridge, but I didn't get my sniper rifle out in time, and then they ran up on me, and I should have had a shotgun.
This isn't
Did
your
I mention I
mission,
suck
Baron.
at this?
What are you doing here?
The Council thought you could use some help on this one.
I don't, Steven. I don't play
I wasn't
FPSs for that
expecting to
reason.
find the Geth here. The situation.
Tim, yes, the Frogger minigame.
Don't worry. I've got it under control.
Saren, you dick. Saren is a dick! Okay, I'm gonna pull the sniper rifle out before we get there. And again, I'm still doing my mouse wheel.
What is that? Off in the distance.
Because...
It's a ship. Look at the size of it.
Because I don't know my key bindings. I will figure it out before we do the next run. I don't want to do it right now because you all don't want to see me go in my menus. There we go. Now I'm ready. What? What? Fine. It literally just changed my weapon of choice for me. Die! Don't run in front of me when I'm shooting at him. What are you doing? Maybe you could have been killed. This is where I would need a sniper rifle, right? Yeah. Okay. Go in here. Play Frogger. Tim, I'm never gonna not say that now. Thank you. Oh. Oh my god. I'm trying to move faster.
Everybody stay calm out there. We're coming out. We're not armed.
Is it safe? Are they gone?
Oh, you're right. I didn't watch takeoff. Oh,
You're
well.
okay now. Nobody's gonna hurt you.
Those things were crawling all around the shed. They would have found us for sure. We owe you our lives.
I still can't believe it.
I was trying to
When we
move
saw
quickly
that
for you
ship,
all because we
I
spent
thought
so
it
much
was all
time talking
over.
Babylon 5 that
Showed up right before the
I'm
attack.
not taking my time
Knew
on
it
the
was
game.
trouble the second I
Oopsie.
saw it. So we made a break for the sheds.
Tell me everything you remember about the attack.
The three of us were working the crops when that ship showed up. We just saw it and ran. I don't know what happened to the rest of the crew.
They were by the garage, over near the spaceport, right where that ship came down. No way they survived.
You don't know that. We survived. If they made it to the garage, they could have had a fighting chance.
What else can you tell me about the ship you saw?
I was too busy running to get a clear look at it. I think it landed over near the spaceport.
Tell them about the noise, Cole. That awful noise.
It was emitting some kind of signal as it descended. It sounded like the shriek of the damned. Only it was coming from inside your own head.
It was probably trying to block communications.
Whatever it was, felt like it was tearing right through my skull. Almost made it impossible to think.
Do you know anything about the Prothean beacon they dug up?
We're just farmers. We heard they found something
he's
out there,
just
but
a
it never
farmer.
really mattered to us. Not until now.
Just
I have to go.
Hey, Cole, we're just a bunch of farmers. These guys are soldiers. Maybe we should give them the stuff.
Jeez, Blake, you gotta learn when to shut up.
You have something to tell me, Cole?
Some guys at the spaceport were running a small smuggling ring, nothing major. In exchange for a cut of the profits, we let them store packages in our sheds.
You're breaking the law, Cole.
Bad.
We're not hurting anybody.
You're a criminal.
Hell, most of the time I don't even know what's in the packages. Just thought there might be something we could use. I found a pistol. Figured it would come in handy if those things came back. But you'll probably get more use out of it than we
I don't
will.
have my charm up yet. Dang it. This guy didn't level up. Ha!
This should help. Let's move out.
Son of a...
Good luck.
You know what? You're all gonna hate me. You're all gonna hate me, but here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. Do 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 do. Because I do want to see the ship take off, and I also need my charm up so I can get more stuff out of the coal here. Third time's a charm. We don't have to punch Manuel, though. Huh?
Eden Prime will never be the same again.
This is true. This is true. Hey, look, Nihilus dies.
Saren.
He's like, no, I'm done.
Nihilus.
Third time's a charm. I'm out. Good night. Thanks for joining.
This isn't your mission, Saren. What are you doing here?
The Council thought you could use some help on this one.
I wasn't expecting to find the Geth here. The situation's bad.
Don't worry. I've got it under control.
Okay, first up, we're gonna do this real quick. The whole point behind this, though, was I wanted this up. There we go. Okay. Ashley, do. And Caden. Okay. And then we go back to here.
What is that?
There
Off
it
in the
is.
distance.
We'll watch it this time.
Shit! Look at the size of it!
Bye. Come out, wherever you are. There you are. Okay. Oh, now this should work. Oh, I'm stupid.
Is it safe? Are they gone?
You're okay now.
Those things were... It showed up right before the attack.
I have to go.
Jeez, Blake, you gotta learn when to
You have
shut
something
up.
to tell me, Cole?
Some guys at the spaceport were running a small smuggling ring. Nothing major.
You're breaking the law, Cole.
Breaking the law is
We're not
bad,
hurting anybody.
Cole.
I found a pistol.
Give me the
Figured
pistol.
it would come in
Then
handy
more.
if those
We're
things...
risking our lives to save this colony. You sure there's nothing else in here that could help us out?
Yeah, there's one more thing. I was gonna sell it after this was over, but you probably deserve it more than I do.
Cole, you're a piece of shit.
Who's your contact at the spaceport, Cole? What's his name?
He's not a bad guy. I don't want to get him in trouble. Besides, I'm not a snitch.
He might have something to do with this whole attack, Cole. We need his name. It's important.
Yeah, okay, you're right. His name's Powell. Works the docks at the spaceport, if he's still alive.
I have to go.
Good luck.
Good old steady, reliable, boring Caden. Yes, but Caden isn't going to be a racist. So.
Commander, it's Nihilus.
Oh, in the pool of his own blood.
A Turian? You know him?
Yep.
He's a spec.
Tim, he's just
He's
hanging
with
out.
us in the dorm.
Something's
Hanging
moving
out until you get
over
that
behind those
DLC.
crates.
Wait! Don't shoot!
Oh,
I
it's
want to you!
Powell.
I'm human!
Who are you?
What are you doing sneaking around back there?
I'm sorry, I was hiding from those creatures. My name's Powell. I saw what happened to that Turian. The other one shot him.
I need to know how Nihilus died.
The other one got here first. He was waiting when your friend showed up. He called him Sarah.
Hey, Jen, I'm not too far because I've had to do the same thing 3 times. And we talked a lot of Babylon
Your
5.
friend seemed to relax. He let his
I'm
guard
going to
down.
try to get off Eden Prime before I end tonight,
Sarah
I swear.
killed him. Shot him right in the back. I'm just lucky he didn't see
Technically,
me
you shot him in
behind
the back of the
crates.
head.
We were told a Prothean beacon was brought to the spaceport. What happened to it?
It's over on the other platform. Probably where that guy Saren was headed. He hopped on the cargo train right after he killed your friend. I knew that beacon was trouble. Everything's gone to hell since we found it. First that damn mothership showed up, then the attack. They killed everyone. Everyone. If I hadn't been behind the crates, I'd be dead too.
You're Cole's contact here on the docks for the smuggling ring.
What? No! I mean, what does it matter now? So I'm a smuggler, who cares? My supervisor's dead, the entire crew's
He just
dead.
pulled the
Doesn't
Marky
matter now,
Mark
does
from
it?
the happening. What? No.
Anything hidden nearby that we could use against the Geth?
A shipment of grenades came through last week. Nobody notices if a few small pieces go missing from the military orders.
You greedy son of a bitch. We're out here trying to protect your sorry ass, and all you can think about is how you can rip us off?
I never thought you'd actually need
You
those
took
grenades.
my grenades, you
We don't wanna
asshole!
attack Eden Prime. We're just a bunch of farmers. How was I supposed to know?
Forget about him. He's not worth it.
You're lucky the commander's here, pal.
Yeah.
Hand over those grenades.
They're yours. Take them. My smuggling days are over, I swear.
Yeah, Jen, you're right. Should make amends,
A lot of Marines
pal.
died here, Powell. Those grenades could have come in handy.
They really couldn't have.
If I
but
were you,
whatever.
I'd think of some way to make it up to them.
You're the reason why Jenkins died.
Yeah, okay.
He could have used those
There
grenades
is
before we
something
got
else
here.
I was saving. Could be worth a fortune. Experimental technology, top of the line. Take it. I don't need it. I didn't want anyone to get hurt. Really, I'm sorry.
We need
Yeah,
to find that beacon before
Jen,
it's
I
too late.
usually let Ashley
Take the cargo train.
bite
That's
the
where the
big
other
one
Turian went.
because Caden's a little bit more
I
fun
can't
in
stay here.
Mass
I
Effect
need to get
3.
away from all this.
I think in my original playthrough, which I did before Mass Effect 3 came out, I let Ashley live because I was a 20-something-year-old playing a game, and she was, a chick. But yeah, I'm not sure how we're gonna play that this time. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. We're not gonna be there for a couple more nights, and I don't know how often we're gonna play this, but
Check your targets. Could be friendlies.
my shotgun skill sucks. Somebody got him. Hi. Hi. And yeah, I don't use my squad much. I really need to do that more, like move them up and such. I just, I usually don't care enough to do that, but I recognize that I probably should do that more. Oh, that one's flying away too far. That's helpful. Good use of that grenade. I think what I'll do before I do the next recording is I'll do a little bit of tweaking and playing here so I can get to a point where I don't look like too much of a fool. Just a little bit of a fool. Seriously, he just took 2 shots to the head. 3 shots to the head. Pop your head up, please. Pretty please, pop your head up. Appreciate it. Oh, a load screen.
Set the charges. Destroy the entire colony. Leave no evidence that we were here.
Jen, we're just doing soldier. Because I was boring. And now I know I'm using the sniper rifle a lot more. Even though I'm doing soldier. Because again, I'm stupid. We're sitting ducks on a little transport, staying here 3 in a row. Because, you know, there's not people shooting at us. Oh, look, it's a bomb.
Demolition charges. The Geth must have planted them.
Hurry! We need to find them all and shut them down.
Yes, Ashley. I'm working on it. Pretty sure Caden got that kill and I just pumped him through more left, but it felt good to shoot him. Yay, grenades. I thought it was downstairs. I thought that one was downstairs. In fact, it may still be downstairs, but... It's been a while since I played ME1. Thought that one was under the stairs. It was not. All charges disarmed. Yay.
Take out those hostiles.
Caden, they're dead.
We thought this world was safe until the Geth showed up.
Well, Ashley, this world wasn't safe as soon as you showed up, but that's, you know, just because you're an asshole. Gee, let's walk up to the beacon and see what happens here.
Normandy, the beacon is secure.
This is amazing. Actual working Prothean technology. Unbelievable.
It wasn't doing anything like that when they dug it up.
Something must have activated it.
Roger, Normandy. Standing by.
Caden, no touchy. No touchy. When the artifact is glowing, you don't touch it. Dumbass.
Shepard! No, don't touch it. It's too...
So this was designed to look like a nightmare. I think it worked out pretty well. Broke the beacon, Caden. It's all your fault. Actually, let's blame Ashley. It's all Ashley's fault. I don't know why, but everything's Ashley's fault. Hi, Marina Sirtis.
We identified the ship that touched down on Eden Prime. The Normandy. A human alliance vessel. It was under the command of Captain Anderson. They managed to save the colony.
And the beacon.
One of the humans may have used it.
Two of the humans used it, actually. No, everyone forgets Manuel.
This human must be eliminated.
This is why I don't like closed captions, because that was way off, but whatever.
Doctor? Dr. Chakras.
Her hair is still great,
I think
even
she's
after
waking
all
up.
of that.
You had us worried there, Shepard. How are you feeling?
Like the morning after shore leave. How long was I out?
About 15 hours. Something happened down there with the beacon, I think.
It's my fault. I must have triggered some kind of security field when I approached it. You had to push me out of the way.
Texas, he didn't touch it. I know, but come on. I mean, it's all Ashley's fault anyway.
You had no way to know what would happen.
It was Ashley's fault.
Actually, we don't even know if that's what set it off. Unfortunately, we'll never get the chance to find out.
The beacon exploded. A system overload, maybe. And the blast knocked you cold.
Eric,
Williams
don't
and I had
touch
to
it.
carry
It's
you back here to the ship.
evil! Was I hurt?
What's the damage, Doctor?
Physically, you're fine. But I detected some unusual brain activity.
It's boob
abnormal
Nessia.
beta waves.
I'm not going to forget that one
I also
now.
noticed an increase in your rapid eye movement. Signs typically associated with intense dreaming.
It's like they could have given Benezia a full helmet. Nobody's looking at her face anyway. This is true, Tim. This is true. David, she has a face?
I saw... I'm not sure what I saw. Death, destruction... Nothing's really clear.
I better add this to my report. It may... Oh, Captain Anderson.
How's our XO holding up, Doctor?
Well, all the readings look normal. I'd say the commander's going to be fine.
Glad to hear it. Shepard, I need to speak with you.
In private.
Aye, aye, Captain. I'll be in the mess. if you need
Kagan,
me.
get the fuck out. He doesn't
Sounds
have
like
to
that beacon
tell
hit you pretty
twice.
hard, Commander. Are you sure you're okay?
I feel bad about Jenkins. He was dumb.
I don't like soldiers dying under my command.
Especially when they run in front of
Jenkins
bullets.
wasn't your fault. You did a good job, Shepard.
How
Did
about
we leave
Ashley?
Gunnery Chief Williams back on Eden Prime?
I figured we could use a soldier like her. She's been reassigned to the Normandy.
Williams is a good soldier. She deserves it.
I don't know if
Lieutenant
she's
Alenko
racist
agrees
yet.
with you. That's why I added her to our crew.
I'm pissed off about the Geth.
Intel dropped the ball, sir. We had no idea what we were walking into down there. That's why things went to hell.
The Geth haven't been outside the Veil in 2 centuries, Commander. Nobody could have predicted this.
You said you needed to see me in private, Captain?
I won't lie to you, Shepard. Things look bad. Nihilus is dead. The beacon was destroyed and Geth are invading. The Council's going to want answers.
I didn't do anything wrong, Captain. Hopefully the Council can see that.
So how many
I'll
of you
stand
let the
behind
council
you
die?
and your report, Shepard. You're a damned hero in my books. That's not why I'm here. It's Saren, that other Turian. Saren's
The
a skeptic,
other Turian.
one of the best, a living legend. But if he's working with the Geth, it means he's gone rogue. A rogue Spectre's trouble. Saren's dangerous.
Anderson's
And
very
he hates
magnanimous, saying Saren's one of the best when he knows that Saren screwed him over too.
Why?
He thinks we're growing too fast, taking over the galaxy. A lot of aliens think that way.
I mean, to be fair,
Most
we
of them
did
don't do
shoot at
anything
the
about it. But Saren
Turians
has
the
allied
first time we
himself
saw
with the
them.
Geth.
Actually, I think the
I don't
Turians
know
shot
how.
at us
I don't know
first,
why.
but, you know, details.
I only know it had something to do with that beacon. You were there just before that beacon self-destructed. Did you see anything? Any clue that might tell us what Saren was after?
I saw a
Just
vision.
before I lost consciousness, I had some kind of vision.
A vision? A vision of what?
I saw synthetics. Geth, maybe. Slaughtering people. Butchering them.
We need to report this to the Council, Shepard.
What are we gonna tell them? I had a bad dream?
We don't know what information was stored in that beacon. Lost Prothean technology? Blueprints for some ancient weapon of mass destruction? Whatever.
That's not far off.
Saren took it. But I know Saren. I know his reputation is politics. He believes humans are a blight on the galaxy. This attack was an act of war. He has the secrets from the beacon. He has an army of Geth at his command, and he won't stop until he's wiped humanity from the face of the galaxy.
I'll stop him.
I'll find some way to take him down.
It's not that easy. He's a Spectre. He can go anywhere, do almost anything. That's why we need the Council on our side.
We prove Saren's gone rogue and the Council will revoke his Spectre status.
Because the Council
I'll contact
will,
the ambassador
you know, do everything
and
we
see
ask
if
him
he
to do.
can get us an audience with the Council.
You'll be completely fine.
He'll want to see us as soon as we reach the Citadel. We should be getting close. Head up to the bridge and tell Joker to bring us into dock.
And that is where we'll end it for tonight. Because I think I've done enough damage for one day. Let's go over to the chat here and see what you all are talking about. It even changes the window when you leave. That's weird. There it goes. Okay, so let's see what y'all are chatting about. She has a face. Yes, Boobnesia does have a face. Tim says, even as a gay guy, I found it highly comical when she first came on screen. It's a bit over the top. It's a early 2000s video game. What do you... Any era of video game, the boobs are going to be the boobs. Eric says, I saved the Council. I chose poorly. Best Indiana Jones movie, by the way. I saved the Destiny Ascension. Jen says the people on it were an afterthought. Yeah, the Destiny Ascension is important. It's a nice little ship to have. Eric says, Turians approached us with gun ports open as a sign of respect. They approached us open-handed. I got that reference, Eric. Let's see. Texas says, saving the Council doesn't really have benefit until ME3. The Destiny Ascension is worth more war assets than the fleets. This is true. But again, you're completely right, Texas Ambleshock. And I think when you're trying to play the game as a person who actually plays games, you're doing all the math on this and you're saying this is more important than this and this and this. But truly, and this is going to be something you guys are going to see if you continue on with me on this playthrough, I don't give a shit. I don't care about war assets. I don't care about what does the best benefit for what and what weapon does the best. I'm here for the story. So my playthrough is going to be based on the story that I think makes the best Shepard story and the best Mass Effect story. And if it means we're going to have less war assets or more war assets, this is why I'm not a gamer. I enjoy the show. I like my stories. Chen said, I wish that's why I did it. I just think it looks really cool. See, Chen's more up my alley. Texas is like, well, if you do this, this, and this, you get a better thing to do. Chen's like, it's cute. I agree, Jen. Richard says, have a great night. David says after midnight for him. Yes, it's 12:10 for me as well. And then Tim says, I usually save the council, but I'm an optimist. Tim, I think we're going to get along. So thanks everyone for joining me on this first of many playthroughs of Mass Effect. I promise I'll go do my key bindings so I know how to pull a gun. And then I will also try not to get myself killed again for a while at least. And we're going to get into a lot of good stuff here. I think we've already had some really good conversations, so thank you all for joining me. It's always fun to have you all in the chat. And please make sure you like, subscribe, click that notify button because that's going to tell you when we go live again. And be on the lookout for our next podcast episode, which will be coming out on Wednesday. We are getting really into the heart of Season 3. As I mentioned earlier, we're actually going to be recording Messages from Earth tomorrow night. It won't come out for a few weeks, but we're going to be recording Messages from Earth soon. And then also we're going to be starting releasing more stuff on this YouTube channel. I've already kind of mentioned we're going to have some reaction videos coming from the newbies. I've already got a couple in the can on those. We just haven't gotten to the episodes yet. And then for Severed Dreams, we have an idea. We have a plan. And I'm hopeful that we can get that plan going. And I'm looking forward to that. Actually, it's going to be fun for all of us. But I don't want to spill the beans and find out it doesn't happen. So we're working on that. And make sure you click all the links down below. The link to our audio podcast is there as well. So if you want to listen to the podcast, you can do that. And of course, if you want to have the YouTube stuff, just hit that subscribe and notify button. Texas says, now I usually save the council because I think it's what my shepherd would do. See, there you go, Texas. That's the key. What would my shepherd do? And that's how we're going to do this playthrough. So again, thanks everybody so much. It's been fun. I'm looking forward to getting into Mass Effect again. I haven't done a full playthrough in years, and I have never done a full FemShep playthrough. So this is going to be fun, and we're going to highlight a lot of the B5 connections as they come along, and we're just going to chat too. So it should be a fun time. So until next time, again, click all the buttons except for the down arrow. Don't click that one. That one's bad. And we will talk to you soon when we talk about whatever we talk about next. So thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful evening, and see you soon.